Hello, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and do all the socially things floating past you on the screen right now. Reddit upvotes and Twitter retweets are awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Today I'm going to sort of answer some questions in a very general way, because this is something that comes up a lot when I don't necessarily give you an answer to a problem. And that is, how do you cope with things? What do you do with that? And sometimes I've got a specific answer for you, right? Sometimes there's a very specific situation and set of circumstances, and I can tell you in that set of circumstances, I do this. And it makes me seem really self-assured and really confident and like I know what I'm talking about and that I have some sort of special insight. It's good for a video, but it's not true, right? It's just in that particular case, I've figured that thing out. But for every case I've figured out, there are 8,000 more where I haven't really got a clue. And when I make videos about those things, I don't have an answer. And I can see why that would be frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating for me. And yet you've come to YouTube looking for said answer. And I ramble on for 10 minutes and then go, I don't know. I get it. But I can give you some help and some advice because, look, there are so many unique situations in life. Think how general that is. Situations in life. I don't know you or your life or what or who it involves, or so many elements that are not going to be the same between us. And so if we're just waiting for me to figure out my life situations and then tell you about it, we might be here forever. It might be impossible. So we have to look at some general things so that you can cope with whatever. So my first bit of advice, this has been key to everything, and everything that has followed it has been better and possible because of this. And that is, however you react to a situation, don't do it explosively. Don't do it right now. Take a minute. That's key. Be calm. And I'm talking about all of it. Panicking, getting angry, raging, anxiety, thinking it's the end of the world, catastrophizing. All of this is not going to help you with whatever problem you're dealing with. They're only going to make things worse. They're only going to make you look at the downsides and not look at solutions to problems. They're also going to weigh you down emotionally and make it difficult to break out of something and go and put those solutions into action if you come up with any. Sometimes you might have a problem with really obvious solutions and you can't go and do them because you're too battered by the worry that this problem exists in the first place. So we have to be calm. Take a breath. Take your time. Do it later. And that's the next bit, isn't it? The bit that I keep banging on about, the bit that should be on a t-shirt. Do it tomorrow. Deal with it tomorrow, because your reaction today is wrong. How often is that the case? How often are you thinking, I should have done this the day after? Well, wait till the day after when you think, I should do this. That seems pretty straightforward, and yet it's so difficult to do sometimes. And I can't make you do that. You have to make you do that, and you can only do that if you're calm. If you're just raging, if you're just shouting at somebody, if you're just unloading, which you know isn't healthy, which you know isn't going to get you anywhere, but somehow it feels good, it's like relieving tension, but it's not the right way to do this. It's not a good, effective way of relieving tension. A good way of relieving tension is taking a minute, taking a deep breath, and realizing that we're going to deal with this later. Unless it's a dire emergency, I suppose. But then still try and remain calm. Nobody said getting excited in an emergency is a good thing. Don't panic. And once you start to get calm and realize we're going to deal with things later, then we can start dealing with how we feel right now. Because there's going to be some tension built up. And we have to start thinking through things. We have to start trying to think rationally. And if I'm dealing with another person over something, the time when I'm trying to figure things out, when I'm working towards this thing this reaction, this conclusion I'm going to arrive at tomorrow, the best thing I've found to do is to start trying to empathize with another person. That can be difficult. Especially if you just have NPD. I mean, empathy. Huh? That's for shit people. It's a good job I'm not worried about monetization, isn't it? Yeah. Well, what can I tell you? You know it's not. You're here watching videos on NPD. And it's time to start doing something about that. You can learn it. You can figure out what people are thinking. It's actually an easy thought exercise of putting yourself in somebody's shoes. If somebody said something or done something, imagine yourself being that person, doing that thing, saying that thing, and start listing things that might motivate that, things that might have caused that to happen. Think about how that person might be feeling. Think about how you would feel in that situation. And try to take the NPD into account, right? You know, that can be difficult. I'm not saying any of this is easy or something you can just do right away. This all requires work. If you're on the BPD side of things, empathy is going to be overflowing and easy to start seeing other people's motivations. Perhaps somebody didn't mean to hurt you. Perhaps somebody didn't mean that thing they said. Perhaps they're lashing out. Perhaps they're projecting. So before we rage at them, we're going to stay calm. We're going to accept that we're going to deal with this later. And we're going to think about these things that motivate other people or these things that cause these events. And you can start calming down and dealing with stuff like this. This is how you cope with things. We're quite probably lacking this time to think, this moment, this breath. And we might be lacking that empathy. We might be so caught up in ourselves and how we feel that we're not thinking about what put other people in that position in the first place. Maybe we did something first. Maybe they're having problems. There are so many possibilities, so many situations. It's so difficult to pin things down. But I think you can see the process of staying calm, accepting that you'll react later, and trying to put yourself in the position of that person, if there's a person involved. Trying to see a chain of events, trying to figure out why something has happened or how. Because, look, 99 times out of 100, it's not anything to do with you, really. You might just be where something landed, or an easy target, or there at the wrong time when somebody broke, or something broke, or whatever. We get very caught up in ourselves, very self-centered, very self-focused. And of course, things happen to us, right? It's to us. And we get angry and we rage about that. And we're either angry and raging about that on the NPD side because there's a sort of, how dare they, or we deserve better than this, or whatever. And then on the BPD side, there's the rage of, well, here we go again. I don't deserve any better than this. This is just my life. Isn't it horrible? Rage. There's so many things we can rage about and get angry, and they all cloud our judgment and help us deal with things incorrectly and badly and in ways that can be harmful to other people. So coping with things, how do I do it? Quietly. because I used to do it as loudly as possible and it didn't get me anywhere. Actually, it did. It ruined everything. It got me backwards. It got me downtrodden, whatever. It ruined things. That's what it got me. It certainly didn't get me resolutions and benefits and problems solved. So be calm and wait and reflect and empathize. I think we're doing another t-shirt here. Somebody writing these down, by the way, because I'm not. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.